Last week in Limaland, Proudfoot made himself a back-to-back champion. With most of the drivers having nothing to lose now, will that free them up to take risks they normally wouldn't? We'll all find out soon as we get ready to watch round 11 of the Bootleg Racing League's Dirt Street Stock Series, and you'll see it all live here on the Global SimRacing Channel. Hi, I'm DJ Clark, and with me in the booth is Asyan Pahaka. Behind the scenes is our director, Sean Ambrose, and he's using cameras provided by Dougie Beard. The dirt track at Charlotte has long been the traditional season closer here for the BRL, but to show our audience a few tidbits about this place, we have our handy track guide to introduce you.
Welcome to Charlotte. No, not the big oval that hosts the World 600 and the Roval. We're heading just a short walk off of Turn 4 to the dirt track. The only thing shared between the two is the name. The stadium-style facility, built in the year 2000, has nearly 14,000 seats and plays host to dirt lake models, modified sprint cars, even monster trucks, and the prestigious World of Outlaws World Finals. On iRacing, it came to the service in 2018 with the Dirt Movement and plays host to several rounds of official iRacing sanctioned dirt events as well as thousands of private league events. At 0.4 of a mile, the turns are where the action is. 10 degrees of banking awaits the drivers as they haul off into Turn 1. The short radius of the corners makes slide jobs the name of the game, rewarding the bravest drivers to send it into the corner like the postman and wrestle track position away. Boasting a day version and a night version, this allows the full dynamic sky range that iRacing offers, providing for a beautiful visual that serves as a backdrop to the even better racing. Corners that you can stack cars in 3, 4, and even 5 wide for the bravest. Lots of action, deceptively fast, beautiful backdrops. All of these things add up to what makes this place unique. This has been our guide to the Charlotte Dirt Oval. I'm Brian Yazik. Enjoy the show.
Well, Ozzy, while the dirt track here may not be as famous as its big sister across the street, it is still a wonderful track to take these street stocks out on. What else can you tell us about it?
Well, in the shadows of the legendary Charlotte Motor Speedway, you got 0.4 of a mile, the dirt track at Charlotte, 0.4 of a mile, banked at 2 to 12 degrees, located in Concord, North Carolina. You can see the big track here, but little track, it can often have the character of a much bigger venue. You know, it's not the size of the track in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the track.
I love it, and it is sure to put up a fight here tonight. Now, before we get you into the action, let's go out and check out that championship we talked about. As we mentioned at the top, Brandon Proudfoot there at the top, locking everything down for his second consecutive championship. Behind him, J.R. Shepard locked into that second place position as well. Hargraves and Northcutt, there still is a possibility for that to swap around for the final podium position there, but Hargraves is going to have a great race to try to get over Billy at that point. And they're down in fifth. He is locked in as well. That is John Wilson, who has really just had a low-key, very good, consistent season. Now, Ozzy, what can you tell us about the race details here today?
Whoa, you got some dirt racing, and that means you got heats, boys. You are starting in at a couple of first heats, and then you're moving in on the 6 laps, 6 cars, 3 transfer from the first heats, then you got the B main, 10 laps, and finally you got the feature race, 40 laps, 24 cars, as I finally have the details open in front of me as well. Points are scored in the qualifying at the heats, at B main, and at the feature, so earning points all the way through, and that's going to be crucial for that third place battle. Of course, everything starts from the qualifying itself, and then you move on to the heats. And DJ, that's always so important to remember. It's not just the feature that counts.
Exactly. Guys can pick up those points as we go along here. And as we check out everybody just getting in some practice laps right now, about 5 minutes left to go in this session. As of right now, Billy Northcutt is on top with Hargraves right behind him, and a new name, Seth Castle, making an appearance there. We check out Billy Northcutt as he makes his way around here. riding that high line, that is a lot of what I expect out here today. Maybe not that high of a line as he gets a little friendly with the wall on the outside. I would expect guys to be riding a lot of the high lane here today, but you never know what you're going to see at Charlotte. A big wide track, there's plenty of opportunity to find something.
And you got progressive banking as well, Vich, and that's why they are all on that high line, because you got more banking there, and that means you can run higher speeds there. In dirt racing in general, if you got flat track, you usually see different lines depending on how the track progresses, but here the high line is gonna be the king once everything stays equal. But I think a couple of guys maybe wanting to look at that middle lane, maybe even the lower lanes once the race progresses. Of course, it's a brand spanking new track once we get things going. Right now, it's pretty much a brand new track, but it evolves, it lives as the race day goes on, and that's when you're gonna see people maybe take onto that middle lane, take onto those low lanes. You see Hayes here as well, trying to maybe explore a bit more of a option in between, taking that second lane instead of the ultra high line.
Yeah, we're right on board with Jason Menda, experimenting a little bit, just trying to see that. A lot of motion on the hands there. And for our eagle-eyed viewers and fans of this series, you may notice a familiar name popping into the bottom of that charts. He's not on track right now, so we don't need to go to him, but Bobby Rafferty, the champion from 3 seasons ago and teammate of Brandon Proudfoot, is out here tonight. So that is sure to throw a wrench in the works. We may see a good 4-way battle out here as we continue to watch Menda experimenting there with that middle line like you talked about, Ozzy.
Yeah, exactly. Jason Menda from Pensacola, Florida, much like Roman Reigns, is there's our pro wrestling reference of the day. So experimenting with those middle lanes. Let's see what he finds during the rest of this practice. Not going way up there. Now he's sliding a little bit wide, and you can see all those rubbles, all those, it's not quite marbles. In road racing we would call those marbles, but in here it's more like rubble and pieces of gravel and tougher pieces of condensed mud, I guess, and dirt on the high lane, and that's gonna make it really difficult for the first couple of laps. When you find all that stuff up there, it offers less of a grip, and it's gonna feel a little bit awkward underneath you, but once it cleans up a little bit, it's gonna get a little bit faster as well.
Oh, for sure, Ozzy. And of course, if you are just good enough, and you can see Seneca doing a little bit and then going a little bit wide up into that loose dirt up there, you can hook that right side tire up onto that edge of that, ride the cushion around, get some really, really good push off. Seneca experimenting with riding that cushion here as he comes across the start-finish line. Important to note that the start-finish line here about halfway down the main straightaway, so that may play in when we get into some side-by-side racing during the heats.
Absolutely. You know what this reminds me of, DJ? It reminds me of oval racing at Darlington. The way these guys are running that high line, the way they are braving, getting closer and closer to the wall. It's like a dirt version of Darlington, really. And I wonder if some guys are going to get those Charlotte stripes here today.
Oh, they very, very well might, as dirt racing is no stranger to a little bit of bumping and banging, ticking down under about a minute and a half to go here in this practice session. Once this is done, we will get on to qualifying, which is a 4-lap solo session for these drivers. We've seen some alternating strategies over the course of the season. Some drivers choosing to go out, set a hot lap or two, and then wait in the pits and see if they can maybe go a little bit faster later in the session. We'll have to see if that strategy plays out today.
Yeah, the track evolves all the time, as we mentioned earlier on. We talk about the track evolving. Here it's pretty late into the evening, like you got night racing under the lights here, so I don't think the track temp is gonna have an effect that much. The dirt doesn't gather heat as much as tarmac does anyway, so I don't think it's about that. It's about how the track evolves. Is it gonna be fast early on or faster later on? Seeing maybe what the other guys are doing out there on the track and trying to, you know, see if you got a little bit of a trick in your sleeve as well. So it's I would pretty personally like to get a good lap early on, like get a bank lap early on, right on my first flying lap, get a good lap in, then wait a little bit, see where everybody else is at and see, right, okay, this is where I can improve, this is where I can improve, how much do I need to improve, right, let's get cracking. Of course, there's only one guy that's gonna get to the pole position here, and, well, you know, what can you say? Mr. Proudfoot, I think he's gonna be the favorite once again. 7 wins this season. Can he make it 8?
Well, we will have to see, as there you can see the checkered flag flying for this 20-minute practice session, getting ready to gear up for qualifying now as it all ticks over here at the dirt track at Charlotte. And indeed, we are ready to go qualifying, waiting for our first car to come out on track. It looks like we're going to have Bobby Rafferty and Chris Hazelip as two of the first takers, Hargraves coming out as well.
Yep, those guys are doing exactly what you mentioned earlier, DJ, and they are gonna get those laps out there from early on. Here we see number 73 out there on the track, looking to set those quick times right from the early on. Chris Haslip looking for that good speed into his first flying lap as well, getting very close to the wall indeed, and following that high line, braving it a lot, not quite going up there, like not going to the dirty stuff. You can see the darker stuff right at the edge of the track, following that groove nicely. Let's see what he can do as he comes into 3 and 4. Oh, that's quite nice, getting a good exit as well, and not sliding around too much, keeping it pretty much in the groove so far. So you don't see that. One of the issues that people who are new to dirt racing maybe do is that they slide around the car at a little bit too much of an angle and they end up losing speed. You have to find the balance between grip and the correct angle of attack, so to speak.
Exactly, Ozzy, as we keep our eyes there on Bobby Rafferty. We mentioned it before, very close at the top between him and Hargraves. Hargraves looking like he is parking it back in the pits, as is Billy Northcutt doing that early banker lap strategy like you talked about there. You can see Hargraves in the pits. Here is Justin Morton coming back in. He, I think, is going to be one to watch for during the course of this race. Morton currently in second, loves to ride that high line. We've seen him do it very well over the course of many seasons. Not able to go faster there on that lap. He'll stay in second for the time being. Here comes Rafferty.
Rafferty comes and, ooh, may have tapped the wall a little bit there. 18.847 there, currently sitting about a tenth behind our leader, who is Hargreaves. Jason Best, will he live up to his name? The Midwest driver with number 47 here, and we see Northcutt once again, a little bit of a slow lap, but look how high he is. Like he was taking an absolutely braving it into turn number 1, and we see a couple of more guys maybe taking the middle line, whereas you saw Northcutt there taking the absolute ultra high line. So I think that's gonna be a key. How brave will you be?
Yeah, exactly. You've got to go through with disaster. There's Northcutt trying to come out and set a faster time, and indeed he does. That is the fastest lap of the session with an 18.690. And here comes J.R. Shepard seeing what he can do. This is his first lap out, not the best one for him. Watching Northcutt again, though. Is he able to improve on that provisional best pole time? He is not on that lap, but that is a very impressive run. We're going to jump back to J.R. Shepard. He's currently 7th. He's going to want to do better than that. Crosses the line and not able to improve.
No, not quite Jason Best, but can he do 18.9? Not able to improve either. So Jason Best with that 47 machine currently sitting in 9th place, but Billy Northcutt, what a lap from him. Who can beat him? Is it J.R. Shepard from the number 98? 733, that's a very good lap. Takes him up to 2nd place, but not quite to the pole position. Wow, that's an excellent lap from J.R. Shepard. I don't think I quite saw that one coming, as Proudfoot does Proudfoot things.
And Proudfoot pops himself into that top time. As you said, look at that gap between the top 4, separated by less than a tenth of a second between 1 and 4, and only 0.103 separating the top 5. Let's see if Proudfoot can improve. Not able to do it on that lap, but I think he's got one more stored up. Continues to ride that high line. We're going to jump over to Hargraves here. He is currently just shy of a tenth off, taking a little bit of a lower line here. Does he have anything for the challengers? Not able to go faster there, about 300ths of a second off. Can Proudfoot improve on his time? He can't, about 300ths of a second off as well.
Yeah, and see how he took a little bit of a lower line there. I think this is a little bit of a cool down lap now, because he wasn't taking that ultra high line, and here trying to maybe get a good exit onto the main straight. Can he do it? Oh yes, he can. Taking that grip and slower lap, and once again going on a fast lap, as we see the new face, Seth Castle. Here 21.6, but that's surely a warm-up lap, because he is also one of those guys taking it all the way to the skies on that 12-degree banking.
He was indeed, and remember, he was looking very, very feisty during practice. Here comes Castle coming around that final corner, working the wheel as he does, comes across the line with an 18.837. That is not fast enough for the number 7. Looks like that's going to call it a day for here. He's going to be back in 9th.
Yep, and with 10 seconds left in the qualifying, there's nobody who can beat our 7-time winner this season either. Already crowned a champion, DJ, and here once again showing us why.
Yeah, exactly. Proudfoot is so good, and it looks like he's been able to fix some of his qualifying woes that we saw him have earlier in the season. And our viewers will remember that he talked about how he is very much a rhythm driver, and that is part of what laid into him having some bad qualifiers, just couldn't get that rhythm hooked up. But we are ready to go here, Ozzy, in our first heat race, and it is going to look like this. On the pole for heat number 1 is going to be Brandon Proudfoot, followed by William Hargraves, and rounding out the top 3, it is John Wilson.
Yep, and in 4th place we have Mr. Menda, Jason Menda, and rounding out the top 5 is Ryan Seneca. And these 5 guys are gonna get underway here on the first heat of the day.
Indeed they are now, and something to remember here is that the leader does get lane choice, so we'll have to see what Proudfoot decides to pick here. Looks like he is going to go to the outside, and so that is going to put one of the hard chargers here in this race that we always like to watch out for. Hargraves in second. Behind him, he'll be starting down on the inside. That'll be an advantage for Proudfoot, hopefully.
Indeed so, and Proudfoot here, the high line is looking to be the faster one in the start, so we'll have to see if that works out for him. I think it will. I don't see any way this can go wrong whatsoever. And of course, just as I say that, well, you never know. It's heat racing. We know he's 7-time winner this season, but this is a very volatile form of racing, isn't it?
Oh, it certainly is. An errant little slip on the throttle or on the wheel, and you can find yourself very hard into one of your competitors. iRacing Pace Truck pulls off here and gives the control of the field over to Brandon Proudfoot, making his way into turn 3. Just waiting is Proudfoot, and there he is onto the loud pedal, getting a very good run there. As they cross over the line, he'll have a full clearance over Hargraves. They dive into turn 1. Proudfoot up high, Hargraves down low. That looks like it is Menda trying to challenge on the outside of Wilson.
Yep, indeed, and Proudfoot taking good start. He has Hargraves on the inside, trying to maybe get a little bit of a slide job done, but can't do it, so tucks in behind Proudfoot, and I think Menda got that 3rd place away as well. He did, passing Wilson on the start and Seneca rounding out the 5-car field here, but Proudfoot and Hargraves, of course, these are 2 guys very good in this series, and I don't think Hargraves, even though he's got the series champion, he's got the 7-time winner ahead of him, I don't think he's gonna give up at all. Look at them running so close on that high line, both of them trying to use it to the best of their advantage. Of course, DJ, you're not, as I was about to say, you're not really racing each other, you're racing the track, but here Hargraves is actually racing Proudfoot.
It looks like that low line might be starting to come in a little bit. He chooses to stick high here through turns 1 and 2. Proudfoot just diamonding off the corner ever so slightly there. You can see Hargraves setting the fastest lap of the race. Again, Hargraves diving back down to the low side, trying to get a little bit of an overlap, but Proudfoot able to get a better jump off of the line as they cross over with 2 laps to go.
And something to tell you about these guys' pace, Wilson and Menda in 3rd and 4th, they have now dropped down over a second back from the leading duo. And once again, Hargraves is alongside Proudfoot, trying to make it work with 1 lap to go. White flag flying in the air, and can he make it work? Well, 3 and 4, here's his last chance, DJ.
Indeed, we saw in that last lap Hargraves get very low, almost down to the tire almost. Does it again there. Oh, big slide there. He's got to control the car to get it away from Proudfoot, but Proudfoot's going to have the momentum. That'll be Proudfoot 1, Hargraves 2. Wilson able to hold off Menda to take the 3rd and final transfer spot, with Menda coming home in 4th and Seneca in 5th.
You know, we didn't quite see what happened between those 2 guys in 3rd and 4th, but we sure saw what happened in between the 1st and 2nd, and I think that's gonna have feature implications as well later on. I'm not sure if Hargraves is gonna leave it at that come feature time.
No, I certainly think if that comes down to the last lap of this 40-lap feature, it is going to be a wildly different scenario for all drivers. But now it is time to turn our attention to heat race number 2. And this one is going to be led off by Billy Northcutt in the 00. Behind him, the number 9 of Justin Morton and Bobby Hayes rounding out your top 3.
Yep, and Best and Hayslip, third and fourth, can they make it work? They need to climb up into the top 3 to make that transfer. Of course, we've seen overtaking is very much possible here, and it's also, I think, a lot of it is gonna come down to that lane selection. We saw how well the Highline worked there, and we saw that it is the lane to choose, and I wonder, DJ, if that's gonna be something that drivers are making a note of from here on out, that, hey, the Highline is faster, but you can also challenge from the lower lane.
It certainly is, and I think that challenge is what Billy Northcutt is looking to do here, going a little bit contrarian to what we saw Proudfoot do in the last heat. He's starting down on the low line. That'll put Morton on what we think may be a little bit of that preferred line up on his high side. iRacing Pace Truck pulls off to the side here, giving control of the field over to the 00. Now we are just waiting to see when he gets onto the loud pedal. Still waits, and there he gets going, gets a very good jump on the field, but that momentum from Morton gonna try to carry him around. Northcutt still liking the low line. He's gonna try to duck down and keep with it, but here comes Morton on the high side. Ooh, little wiggle off the corner.
Little wiggle off the corner and staying high, and oh, he went very fast into 3 there, and he actually lost a bit of momentum, and you can see 3 wide for the second place spell. Morton, Hayes, and Best all fighting for it.
What a slide job thrown there from Jason Best, and from Hayes rather, and Best says I'll do the exact same thing. A little bit of contact between the two, but all of that scuffling has allowed for Billy Northcutt to pull out an advantage of about a half a second here. This battle for third, though, absolutely ferocious. Hayes down to the inside. That is Best up to the high line. Slider and a crossover.
Wow, is this a Big Mac? Because I'm loving it. Here we go. Hayes trying to challenge from the outside, but he's got the fat back of Best here, challenging him and taking that rear of the car right in front of him, making Hayes make that decision, and it's to the inside, reverse slide job, and once again we get a crossover. These guys are fighting hard, and it's for the last transfer spot as well, coming to a little bit of contact, DJ.
Certainly. Oh, you're all good. I'm about to lose mine as well. I have to say there that Hayes threw the absolute perfect slider on that last lap through 1 and 2. Just got right up in front of Best where he had to back off a little bit. That's going to put Hayes back on the high line, but Best rather, in very, very close pursuit here. He's going to try to dive low. Looks like he's thinking about throwing another slide job, but not able to do it. Momentum really starting to favor Bobby Hayes. He's got about a car and a half lap gap, and that is the white flag here, Ozzy, as we check back in on your leader. A flag to flag domination from Billy Northcutt, makes his way out of the final corner. He is going to cross the line to take the victory in Heat 2. He'll be followed by Morton and Hayes to round out your transfer positions, with Best and Hayslip being relegated to the B main.
Well, Northcutt, uppercut, left hook, and ring the bell. No need to count. It was a clean knockout for him, and he wins heat number 2.
Does indeed, and wins it in commanding style. And so now we gear up for the third and final heat race here today. And this one is going to be led off by J.R. Shepard, taking pole position here in heat number 3. In second, it'll be Bobby Rafferty, followed by the newcomer, Seth Castle.
Yep, and Belke and Thompson rounding out the 5-car field. Can they make something happen here in heat number 3? And what will we see up front? Because, you know, heat 1, that was good. Heat 2, that was excellent. Heat 3, I'm not sure if I have the mental capacity to handle it all with all this heat and whatever.
Well, we've got a little bit of an interesting situation here. Bobby Rafferty is in the pits. I'm not sure if there was an error there or what happened. So there you can see the number 77 not taking place in this heat race. I'm not sure if he's looking for a pit lane start or what is going on, but that is going to put him down in the relegation zone. And what that will mean for Shepard, Castle, and Belke is they've just got to keep this thing on track, and they will advance.
Wow, thankfully he is a mechanic in civilian life, so maybe he can work out whatever's wrong there. I'm thinking maybe some sort of technical issue. I don't see any strategic reason why he would want to start from the pits.
And we are going to take this start from a great perspective. That is a live cam of Austin Belke, driver of the number 24. He'll be starting to the outside of JR Shepard. You can see Belke looking down to the inside, waiting for Shepard to go, waiting. Very late start, and there he goes onto the loud pedal. A great jump from Seth Castle. You can see him down there to the inside of Belke. Belke's going to dive up to the high line, trying to chase down the number 98 of JR Shepard, but he's got a heck of a run here on Castle if he can keep things straight. Castle tries to section him off a little bit, but I think Belke's going to try again on the high line for the momentum.
I think he's trying to keep the car under control, yeah, keeping on the high line. You can see those little movements of the wheel as well, just turning a little bit to the inside, and otherwise just keeping that millimeter of control, that millimeter of precision in his controls, trying to find the grip and trying to stay there as we see the rear view of Shepard. And you can see Belke challenging to the inside as well. Keep that red number 24 right there tucked in, and gonna maybe look for a slide job here. No, doesn't have the momentum, and that means that it is going to be Castle who takes that position away from him.
Yeah, it is. Castle moving himself up into second, and our viewers will notice that little pip on the top of the screen. Bobby Rafferty did start from the pit lane. He is making the fastest lap of the race on that last lap, so he is out there, but he will be in the B main if things continue as this. There he is on screen testing out the low line. Not sure what happened to him. We'll have to find out for you. But up at the front, JR Shepard. He is about to cross over the line for 2 laps to go.
Yep, and I don't see anyone who can challenge him, not even Castle half a second away. He is in the clean, and he can find out a lot about how this track evolves right now. Was having very good pace in the qualifying already, and here at the third of the heats, he is having even better of a pace. Taking a little bit easy now, allowing Castle to catch up just a little bit on the last lap. Can Castle do anything? Oh, it's gonna be difficult.
It's going to be difficult, but he's going to take a look at it, maybe trying for a little bit of a slide job here. He's got to watch it that he doesn't get into Shepard, but he still does. But that's not going to change the order. Shepard crossing over the line to take victory in heat number 3. Seth Castle behind him with Belke in third, and that very strange pit lane start for Bobby Rafferty, relegating him to the B main.
That was a real surprise, and would be very interesting to hear from him after the race. What happened there? Was it a strategic decision? Does he maybe want to get some more practice time in on this track by running more heats? You know, that's even more of a possibility, but I just don't know. I'm just have to assume that it's a mechanical issue of some sort, you know, not making it there in time, not gridding in time, and then having to run from the back of the field.
Yeah, I have to tend to agree with you, but we are not able to focus on that right now because we've got to get ready for this B main here tonight. Now, remember, because we do not have a full 24-car grid, all of these drivers will make it to the A main. It's just a matter of where they will start. And the starting order for this B main, well, it's going to be Jason Menda starting off on pole with Jason Best beside him and Bobby Rafferty in third.
Yep, Seneca, Hayscliff, and Thompson rounding out the 6-car, yes, you heard me right, 6-car field, and from there on out, we will see who will advance and who will not.
And just a reminder to our viewers, this is going to be a 10-lap shootout. No cautions will be thrown. Leader does still have lane choice. And for Jason Menda, that means starting on the outside. So taking the Brandon Proudfoot strategy, let's call it. This one's going to be interesting, Ozzy. And as I've said before, I've got my eyes on that 77 starting out in third. I think he's going to make a little bit of a fun charge here.
Absolutely so. Like, he's gonna be absolutely gutted that he didn't get the chance to shine in that earlier heat, so he wants to show his speed and show what he's got coming into the feature race, and this is his chance to be main. 10 laps, here we go.
Indeed, we do. All eyes on that black and red 45 machine. Well, black machine with red lettering. Waiting for him to go. Waiting for Menda. Waiting. Very late start. There he's on the brakes. Definitely caught Jason Best snapping there. That's Seneca looking like he have a move on the outside, but here comes Rafferty diving very low. Gets squirrely down on the grass. That may cost him a position to Seneca.
He almost hit the tire on the inside. That's how close he was, like clipping the grass on the inside. That's incredible. So experimenting with the new lines. Rafferty here, Bobby Rafferty from New York, once again taking it all the way to the inside, and who knows, maybe this is the line that can work. Maybe he spent 15 minutes in practice to save 15% on or more on his lap times.
Well, it certainly looks like it's working there. Very much of a good line. Running the low line now, coming back up high as he tries to chase down the leaders. Best and Menda, who are a little bit of a scrap themselves. Looks like Best is going to try to go down on the low line into turn 3. Oh, both cars very sideways. Almost a little bit of contact there. And it looks like as they cross over the line, that is going to be Best by a nose, but momentum may shift back to Menda here.
Yep, let's see what Menda can do. Can Best hold on, or is it Menda who's gonna take the lead right now? It's looking Menda on the outside, on the high line, taking control of things, but look at Best, he's still challenging. They're absolutely neck on neck here on the lead with Rafferty looming in the background as well. I'm hearing boss music, and I'm hearing Jaws music. You can just hear it, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, as he's approaching. Can he make it 3 wide?
Oh, he's going to think about it. Dives down to the very, very low line that we saw him get past Seneca on. That may draw him level with Jason Menda. Not quite enough there. Dives back up to the high line. Looks like Best is trying to cut off a little bit of momentum there. Oh, here comes Rafferty. Got a better jump out of turn 2. Almost contact between him and Menda.
Yep, and if he can make it stick, can he slide? Yes, he can, but Menda with a wonderful, wonderful crossover there. He saw that coming all the way. He had 20/20 vision, and he's taking it back on the inside, but here's Rafferty on the high line, and look at the run he's getting. He's flying by Menda, and he's gonna send it on the inside of Best as well. Best on the high line, taking that crossover line, whereas Rafferty here with the slide chop still holds on to the lead, and they're side by side here. 3 gladiators with 3 laps to go. Who can take the win? Look at that slide shot from Best. It's the best he can do, but still Rafferty here taking back the lead. Wow, they're back and forth here.
Absolutely incredible racing here at Charlotte. They're going to be parallel as they come out of turn 4, but momentum is going to shift back to Bobby Rafferty. Here comes Best diving down to the inside again. Rafferty on the high line trying to keep that momentum up, and indeed he does. That is going to be a good 2-car length advantage as they go down the back stretch here. Best trying to close in behind. They're getting ready to take the white flag.
Yep, 1 lap to go here in this B main, and it's been pendulum racing so far, back and forth between these 3 guys. Rafferty holding on to the lead. Best losing a little bit of ground there here at 1 and 2. You can see it, and not gonna have a chance to challenge Rafferty into 3 and 4, I don't think, unless Rafferty makes a real mess of it.
And it looks like he doesn't, and that is going to be the 77 doing what the 77 does best, winning the B main here at Charlotte with Jason Best and Jason Menda coming home in 2nd and 3rd. Seneca Hazlip rounding out the rest of this field. And now, Ozzy, it is time for the 5-minute warm-up here. Driver's going to go out on track, test out a few things, and see what they can feel.
5 minutes, I need an ice bath and at least half an hour after seeing that. I can't imagine what the drivers are going through right now here at Charlotte. And here you can see the view from behind, I believe, Raiden Proudfoot.
Yeah, so a different angle than we are used to seeing from him. Remember, Proudfoot does drive in VR, hence why you can't really see too much of a screen right there. But I love this, that you can really just see where his eyes are going. Now, interesting, Ozzy, here, we are used to seeing Proudfoot really tend to drive one-handed. There, he goes back to his old style. Likes that one hand on the steering wheel through the corners. He says it gives him a little bit of a better feel of grip as he goes around.
Well, you know, that's something that people often do, especially if you have a wheel which doesn't have that much force feedback, maybe, you know, just trying to really feel it. You can see him on the turn in, like, gripping it with both hands, having those bear paws all the way as he's turning in, and then sometimes sticking it with one hand when he's feeling relaxed. You know who else used to drive one-handed? Wasn't in dirt track racing, but it had to do with dirt roads, very definitely, and high-powered machines.
You got me stumped, Ozzy. Who was it?
The most successful Group B rally driver of all time, Finland's own Timo Salonen. He was called the Slack, in Finnish löysä, meaning the slack, because he was really a relaxed looking guy. Looked more like an accountant than a racing driver, but the most successful Group B racing driver of all time, 1985 World Rally Champion as well. He used to drive with a one hand with those Peugeot 205s. High-powered rally monsters, so it's not as strange as it sounds. These are different kind of machines, but you've got a similar vibe in that you're going sideways, you got a loose surface underneath you, and you got to be really, really precise in order to go fast.
You certainly do, and those drivers who are being very precise right now, Brandon Proudfoot, as we've been watching, he is on the top of this practice session. Rafferty behind him, very, very close with Northcutt and Hargraves. Those top four separated by just a tenth of a second. Looks like behind him, J.R. Shepard just able to jump over Seth Castle, Seneca, Wilson, Hayes, and Menda rounding out your top 10. So not exactly surprising that top five, kind of who we expected coming into this race, but I think especially with Rafferty starting as far back as he is, he's going to be one to keep an eye on when we get into this 40-lap feature.
Absolutely, another thing you want to keep an eye on as they are still getting used to how the track has changed. And I think that's actually, if there was a strategy in there for that 77, it is that he got to experience the track in racing conditions in that B main, how it has evolved. So he has the most recent racing experience from this track compared to the guys who just ran the heats. But yeah, one thing we want to keep an eye on is the battle between Hargreaves and Northcutt. Hargreaves could still take that third position away from Northcutt, but he needs to beat him in that feature. Remember, the difference between those two guys in the championship is not much at all. These guys are in fact 7 points apart.
Yeah, very, very close. So it's going to be something to keep an eye on. That'll be one of the storylines we follow during the course of the race. You can see all of these guys zipping by. I believe that was Seneca that caught a little bit of that outside retaining wall. But we focus in on your current third place driver. This is Billy Northcutt. He is going to be in a good starting position for the race. We jump on board. Oh, it's one of my favorites. That is his mother there on the dashboard, racing in her honor as he has been doing all season long. Riding it around, checking out to see where that grip is. As you can see those slick patches of dirt, that is the area where that grip starts to go away very quickly.
That it does indeed. Only 45 seconds here, getting used to the track. Here we see from Billy Northcutt's perspective, how does the track feel? What is he finding? Trying out the inside line as well here, seeing what the grip is like there. And well, I don't think he's gonna like it pretty much. Just slowing down a little bit, maybe taking just a little bit of a breather before the feature race. And I think that's a good plan. You wanna know the track, you wanna know what you're heading into, but you also have to remember, okay, wash your face, get a little bit of cold water in, take a sip of water, and whatever you need to do, get yourself calm, get yourself focused, because it is time to go whether you want it or not. Too many people just get maybe a little bit too hyped up when it comes to racing, and I think that can have a negative effect on your driving.
Very much so. You've got to be very, very calm to do this right. As checkered flag comes out for the practice session, Proudfoot, Rafferty, Northcutt, Hargraves, and Shepard, your top five, with Seth Castle, the newcomer, looking to maybe make a name for himself. But the only way he's going to be able to do that is by proving something here in this A main feature. 40 laps, yellow flags are out. We are ready to go racing for the finale here at Charlotte and for this season in the BRL Dirt Street Stock Series. On the pole, it is Brandon Proudfoot, followed by Billy Northcutt, with J.R. Shepard and William Hargraves making up the row behind them. It is going to be Justin Morton and John Wilson lining up 6th and 7th, with Bobby Hayes and Austin Belke rounding out your top 9.
Yep, and then you got Rafferty, Best, Menda, Seneca, Hayslip, and Thompson here on the 15-car field. Dirt track at Charlotte. It may loom in the shadows of its bigger brother, but it's by no means a weak place. It's a wonderful place, and it's a traditional place for these Bootleg Racing League guys to end their season on. This is the final time they'll be lining up on the feature race grid. And DJ, I must ask you, who do you got for this one?
Well, it's hard to vote against Brandon Proudfoot, but I've got to say, I think this track could suit Justin Morton a little bit as well. And even though he's starting way back in the order, I have been his champion all night. I'm keeping an eye on the 77 of Bobby Rafferty.
You know, I got 98. Again, Proudfoot is the favorite here. 7 wins this season, already a champion, looking to make it 8. I'm not dissing Brandon Proudfoot at all, but at the same time, I can't ignore J.R. Shepard and what he could be doing here. 32-year-old from Neota, Tennessee, manufacturing engineer. Can he manufacture himself first win of the season here at Charlotte? This is maybe his best chance.
It very well may be, and as we watch these cars get ready to go, pace truck pulling off, you can see there Brandon Proudfoot opting for that high line again. That's what he's preferred in the starts we've seen him make. Field bunching up behind him, waiting for the 22 to get on the loud pedal, and there he goes. A little bit of contact between him and Northcutt to start off the race. That's going to allow for Hargraves to get a little bit of a run here. They dive into turn 1. Everybody pretty much side by side. Proudfoot getting good momentum up along the high line. Northcutt tries to cover off Hargraves, but not able to get the overlap.
Yep, championship implications. Those guys fighting for the third place in the championship. Shepard following them through as well. He is on that fourth place, just trying to find that high line. I think Northcutt was the only one out on the inside. Excuse me, Hargreaves is the guy on the inside and taking that second place, holding on to that second place in that 71 car.
Oh, a little bit of contact there between the two of them. That was Hargraves misjudging the corner and getting into Proudfoot.
Wow, indeed, I think you're right. That's something you have to be very careful of. These cars, they are rigid, they are durable, but they're not indestructible.
No, they certainly are not. We take a look here at Proudfoot, but we've got our first yellow out on track tonight. Waiting to see, I believe that is, I think Thompson and Hazlip, I think, is where the problem lies.
Yep, they have dropped very far back from the field, so I think you're right. A little bit of spinner from the back of the field. Okay, so here you can see the situation. And yeah, it's slowing down a little bit. Not sure what the reason is. There must have been a contact earlier on already, because you wouldn't be that far back otherwise. And here we can maybe get a better look here in the chat.
Yeah, taking a look, I see a little bit of damage to the right front of Paul Thompson's car. That's the number 30. All right, so there was the original incident. Here we go. This is going to be the view of it. That is Hazlip in the white machine, Thompson in the blue and yellow. Coming back around there. Looks like Hazlip gets up into the wall, gets sideways. Thompson nowhere to go.
Yep, and there you see a prime example of why we talk about the high line, why we talk about the risk and reward. It's not just go to the high line and be fast, essentially. If you go to high line, here you can see Paul Thompson just losing the rear end, maybe touching the wall a little bit, touching the cushion a little bit too much, right when the car was loose and spinning, and unfortunately taking Paul Thompson with him.
Yeah, so that's going to relegate both drivers back to the end of the field. But as our viewers will know, we're no longer counting yellow flag laps here. But we are going to restart on lap 6. Proudfoot again to the high side. Northcutt behind him. Shepard doing well in third with Hargraves to the inside as well. Waiting for Proudfoot to get on to the loud pedal. And there he goes. We are green again here at Charlotte. An amazing jump from Brandon Proudfoot. J.R. Shepard's going to try to challenge for that second place. It looks like Rafferty threading it up the middle through the inside. A little bit of contact on the high side line there for J.R. Shepard. That's going to allow for Northcutt to get by him. And it looks like even Hargraves is going to challenge almost 3 wide for that second place.
Yep, and behind him as well, another 3-5 battle. Shepard losing position, and there's contact as well. And we got a big one here on the main straight. At least 3, 4, 5 cars involved. One on the roof, back on its wheels. That's number 9, Morden. So Justin Morden is upside down there, and we see a replay right away, DJ.
Yeah, jumping back here, the number 9 there, the TDR. Now, that was what I was talking about. Shepard getting a little bit squirrely off of the line. So here they come. That is Morton right in the middle of the track. It looks like, oh, that is just a perfect kerfluffle. I think that was Wilson, Rafferty, or everybody getting up into each other there. Hazlip coming in, getting a good poke for good measure.
Okay, so here we see on board Jason Menda, and I think he just, yeah, oh man, he's just coming in a little bit too fast. And man, Menda here getting ready for that ARCA series maybe with brakes like that.
Potentially. We may see that on ARCA Break Weekly if we're not careful. Update for some of these drivers. Bobby Hayes currently in the pits right now. J.R. Shepard had to take the spare car that will put him a lap down. So that is a very, very tough break for the 98. Your pick here tonight, Ozzy.
Yeah, I think both of our picks were gone on that one fell swoop. Justin Morton and J.R. Shepard, and that's why we don't usually take picks in the commentary booth.
Yeah, we tend to have a little bit of a jinx factor, but the lights are out here on the pace truck, so we're ready to get racing again. And no, ladies and gentlemen, you are not having double vision. That is Bobby Rafferty up 6 spots into 4th place. This is about to get spicy.
Indeed it is. What can he do here on the restart? And can Proudfoot get away as well as last time? It's so underrated to take a good start. You can get away right away. You don't have to fight for that lead. But here we go, challenging him up on the inside, not letting him away at all here. Proudfoot is having a little bit of a moment here. Look at these guys, just, you know, challenging on the inside, looking to the outside, challenging on the inside, and we're not even underway yet. Like, that's mind games. That's mind games.
Very much. They had to extend that yellow for one more lap there, not liking the way the field was set up. Now everybody's getting back into line. Little bit of poking and pumping there from the back. And there we go. That is Proudfoot onto the loud pedal. We are back under green. Much better bunched up of a start. That's Hargraves diving down to the inside with Proudfoot, Northcutt, and Rafferty trying to challenge high. And it looks like Hargraves not going to be able to get the run that he wants. I think as they go into 3 that was just a very narrow advantage to Bobby Rafferty.
Yep, I think you are right on that one. Northcutt taking the 2nd place, following the high line. Hargreaves on the inside, on the low line. He's the first one of those warriors sliding it in. But something interesting we saw earlier on, coming very close, as we see from the rear view cam actually. These guys fighting each other very, very hard, ultra hard. Rafferty rising through the field as well. Teammates with Proudfoot, Jim Beaver Racing teammates here working that high line, and the high line looks to be working a charm here inside line. A little bit falling off maybe at this point. Wonder if it's going to come back later on in this feature race.
Well, Bobby Rafferty, they're certainly hoping it was, but I think his momentum was blunted a little bit coming off of turn 2 on that last lap. Had to check up behind Billy Northcutt. That didn't give him the full slider run that he wanted to have. Ooh, Northcutt and Rafferty making big contact there into the wall. Proudfoot goes up high, Rafferty down low, and Northcutt somewhere in the middle. Not enough for Rafferty to get the move done. They'll go back single file for the top 4.
Yep, and Proudcutt, he was hitting the wall, and I think he's hitting the wall once again. That's not going to be consequential yet. Right rear quarter panel just sliding that wall, and here you see Rafferty making a move in the background as well, trying to look to the inside of Northcutt as he's looking to the inside of Proudfoot. We were momentarily 3 wide for the lead, but it's calming down a little bit for the first 2 positions. However, Hargreaves and Rafferty still side by side here. Hargreaves, mind you, is still trying to catch up to Northcutt for that 3rd in the championship.
Indeed he is, and that was all spurred on by that little bit of contact you saw between Northcutt and Rafferty, but Rafferty now able to hold off Hargraves, gonna set his eyes ahead to that 0-0 in front of him. Big contact off of the wall for Billy Northcutt, but it looks like Bobby Rafferty not able to challenge. Rafferty now dives to the high side. Northcutt throwing a slider if he can, a little bit of a defensive move there. Rafferty's gonna hope that that momentum's gonna carry him around, but it's gonna put him in danger of running into a little bit of conflict with Hargraves. Hargraves now trying that slider move. He's not going to get it done. Rafferty able to still hold on to P3.
Yep, you see the raw pace difference between high line and low line there. And now Hargraves is going to have to look to that high line as well. And we are calming down momentarily. These guys not quite wanting to battle each other as hard as the track. And you see looking to the inside, but not quite making it work. And Rafferty is going to make him pay as well. A big move down into turn number 3, taking that position with a nice light job. And DJ, here we go again. Pendulum racing time as we come to the 2nd half of this feature race.
Ooh, Northcutt throwing a very aggressive slider there. Rafferty knows what was coming and didn't back out of his high line. That's going to give him a little bit more of an advantage. Ooh, interesting move there from Rafferty, running that medium line. I think trying to run a little bit defensive on Northcutt to try to blunt that momentum from him, and it worked like a dream, I have to say. That is going to be Rafferty securely into P2 right now. Little bit of a wiggle through the 2nd corner. He's now going to bang the wall again on the exit, but he's got his sights set on the 22 ahead of him. But Billy Northcutt doesn't want to let that go quite yet. Tries to get anything going, not doing quite yet.
And I wonder, now that we see the teammates up 1 and 2, Rafferty of course been away for a while, is he going to play rear gunner for Mr. Proudfoot, or is he going to to the race for himself. We see more mid-pack action here as well. Number 24 here on the pictures, that's Bolke, Austin Bolke from Michigan, and he has lost a little bit of ground to the top 6, trying to catch up to Best, who is 1.8 seconds away, and you can really see the differences there. And once again, the leaders, just an amazing battle. These four guys haven't been separated by more than a second all race long.
No, they haven't, and that battle for the final podium position really starting to shape up here. That's Northcutt trying to dive down to the inside. Hargraves banging into the wall, but able to carry on some good momentum, keep that going. He's now running that Rafferty line, I think, trying to pinch Northcutt a little bit down on the inside if he can, and it worked like a dream there. Northcutt not able to get any grip coming off of turn 4. That's going to be a secure position for Hargraves into third, so he's going to have that third place position, and that's very crucial for the championship. Remember, he wants that third place in the championship. But this is the 22. This is Brandon Proudfoot, still your leader. We're going to see the side-by-side there. That is him as he drives his way through the corners. And rest assured, he is checking in his virtual rear view mirrors because his teammate, Bobby Rafferty, very close to his tailpipe.
Yep, objects in the mirror may be closer than they appear. They always born, and they might be disappearing from the mirror as well, as Rafferty looks alongside to the inside, but not quite able to make it work just yet. These guys are gonna battle for the win. I think that was the signal that any team tactics, they're out of the window. They know championship is decided, final race of the season. Let's see who is the better driver, who is the tougher man.
Indeed, and we talked about it at the top that there may be a little bit of gloves off racing here. Is that what we're going to see out of these teammates? Something else to throw into the equation here. J.R. Shepard only about 3 seconds up the road from them, so they may have to account for a little bit of lap traffic coming up.
Yep, that's another factor in there as well. Might be having to do some compromises with those lines. May not be able to quite run that high line as we see Proudfoot squeezed up against the wall, but still able to get a decent exit. You see Rafferty there, slide job and contact between the two teammates.
Contact, but nothing that you don't normally see in dirt racing. Now it's going to be, that's Proudfoot throwing the big slider, and Rafferty coming with the comeback here. They're going to be pretty much side by side as they cross the line. That's 9 laps to go. They have caught up to that lap traffic. Oh, big bang into the wall for Proudfoot there. Oh, that's contact in front of them. They're able to get through it, but that's a yellow with 9 to go.
Yeah, it's a yellow flag out on the track and 2 yellow cars out at the front. What a race it's been, and we still got 9 laps to go, and I wonder what happened to J.R. Shepard. You could see it on the bottom of your picture, and here we are going to see a replay as well. J.R. Shepard running pretty much on his own, trying to identify who it is in the car number 30. Oh yeah, and 30 just spinning around pretty much there and taking Shepard with him. So that's very, very unfortunate indeed in 1 and 2, and that's gonna take caution. And you know, DJ, we got 9 laps to go. You got a caution out there on the track as well, settling things down just a little bit, but not too much. What's gonna happen? Do we have any idea whatsoever?
I have none at all, my friend. I think the move to throw here, though, is to ride the high line for maybe a lap or two, be able to actually build a little bit of distance going into a corner, and then get a good momentum through the high line, cut down, and throw a slider going into your next corner. Now, the question's going to be is whether or not you do that going into turn 1, you throw that slider, or you do it going into turn 3. If you think you can defend it, it may be a way to go by here, but we'll have to check and see. Pace truck lights are, I believe, coming out on this lap, and indeed I think they are, unless I'm mistaken. They are. Field starting to form up here. This is a new sight. Bobby Rafferty starting off. He'll be starting on the high line. Proudfoot to his inside. That's going to be Hargraves to the inside in 3rd place, and Northcutt behind them.
Yep, 2 teammates fighting for the wins, and then Hargraves and Northcutt fighting for 3rd in the championship as well. Pretty much championship implications, and we are about to get underway here.
Here we go, coming to the line with 5 laps to go. It's a good start there for Bobby Rafferty, but Proudfoot's certainly going to try to make a challenge. That's Castle diving down to the very, very low line. Lots of little bumping and banging in the back, but the 2 teammates absolutely side by side coming out of turn 2. They're going to hold the line. That is Proudfoot running a super low slider line. Rafferty coming back with the crossover. They're going to be side by side-ish as they cross over the line, but it's going to be advantage Rafferty.
So far, so good. Proudfoot here taking the high line, running up against the wall once again. coming very close to contact here on the back straightaway. And here you can see Rafferty throwing that slide job. Proudfoot just trying to take it to the inside, but there's Hargreaves there, and he's joining the battle. They're 3 wide for the lead, going into 1, and Hargreaves, can he take it away from both of these guys? Oh no, they're gonna split him, feeling like Ricardo's on that spot 2000, and here Proudfoot taking back that lead. Now Rafferty being run up the track, and that's gonna eliminate his chances of making any sort of moves going into 1 here.
It is indeed 2 laps to go. Another slide job from Hargreaves, and again, he gets swallowed up by those teammates in the Fistful of Bourbon machines. That's the 22 down to the inside. Brandon Proudfoot. Hargreaves still working that middle line. Almost a little bit of contact between him and Rafferty. That is very, very squirrely for Hargreaves. I think that's going to eliminate him. Here we go. 1 lap to go. That is Bobby Rafferty on the outside. Proudfoot trying to hold the line on the inside. Momentum hopefully shifting back to Rafferty, but he's squirrely coming off the corner. He dives down super low. Very late slide job. Contact between the 2 teammates. That's going to send Proudfoot way up the line. Is this an opportunity for Hargreaves? No, but there's the momentum, and at the line, it is the number 77 of Bobby Rafferty, followed by Brandon Proudfoot and William Hargreaves, with Billy Northcutt in 4th and Jason Best in 5th. Ozzy, I could not have asked for a better end to this race.
Have you ever? That was incredible. Bobby Rafferty coming all the way through the field, winning this one. His teammates spinning him around right at the end. Not sure if celebratory from that one. And an incredible battle. Here you see, relive the scenes as well on the replay here, DJ. Rafferty and Proudfoot, and what a battle between these 2. What a battle from everybody up at the front. And you see the high line versus low line. You see these dirt track battles, guys not able to probably see quite anything from all the dust and all the mud being thrown around, and in the end, what a finish as well. Proudfoot not able to make that high line work. Rafferty there taking it from the inside with half a Carling between them, and they are still celebrating, and I think that's fine in 2021.
Well, that is going to finish the race coverage here on GSRC, but don't go away, because we will be back to run you through that final finishing order and interviews with this incredible podium. So don't go away. We'll be back here shortly. Welcome back to the dirt track at Charlotte, and for any of you who were able to watch that, I'm sure your adrenaline is pumping as much as I am, as we saw one of the races of this season to close out the BRL Dirt Street Stock Series here. And taking that win in his triumphant return, Bobby Rafferty in the 77, followed by his teammate Brandon Proudfoot. An absolute stellar duel to the line with William Hargraves throwing some good knocks in there as well. Billy Northcutt and Jason Best round out your top five, with Seth Castle, the newcomer, taking a very respectable 6th place. Justin Morton recovering from that early incident to take 7th, with John Wilson and Austin Belkey in 8th and 9th, and Chris Hazlip rounding out your top 10.
Yep, all of those guys separated by only 3.6 seconds. And as we move on to the next page, Ryan Seneker, Jason Menda, and 10-1 left down. Paul Thompson out of the race, sadly. J.R. Shepard and Bobby Hayes there. So 15 car field for the final time here at Charlotte. And DJ Clark, I believe you have a race winner there with you on the interview section.
I do. First and foremost, Bobby, welcome back to the series. And I got to say, man, you know how to make an entrance.
Long time no talk. Addie's home. That was absolutely phenomenal. I actually, first, before I even get into the interview, I got to apologize to my teammate Brandon. I've raced with him for so long, and every time he gets into a situation like that on the last lap, he always throws the slider. So I 100% thought he was going to go for the slider, so I shoved her down in the bottom, and the one time he sticks it down in the bottom was tonight, and I booted him up out of the way. I didn't want to win like that, but I'll take it.
I think with a race like that, a little bit of contact is to be expected and nothing to shake a stick at. I gotta ask you, though, what was the deal with the heat races? You didn't come out for the heat, and then were forced to take the win of the B main.
Well, actually, no. I did grid up for the B main, but I just got a new steering wheel, a new wheel rim. I bought it off of a friend of mine, and the button mapping is a little bit different. So apparently where my map button was for my exit car while in the sim was the same button I was using for talking in TeamSpeak. So I'm sitting there talking with the guys, and the next thing I know, I'm sitting in the pits and I missed the start. And I was like, oh, well, that's unfortunate. I guess we're going to the B main.
Well, all right, then that answers our question. And I have to say then, when you got into the A main, was it just sort of I've got to get to the front as fast as possible, or were you being a little bit more conservative in your head when you're starting off there?
No, especially in this league, look, you've got such a good group of talented guys, but more so than that, you've got a group of respectful guys. I've got respect for all of these guys in this league. You know, yeah, rubbing happens, bumping happens, but there's never been a malicious act from any of these guys towards me. So I wasn't just going to beat and bang my way up through the field. If we ended up 10th tonight, we ended up 10th tonight. If we ended up winning tonight, we ended up winning tonight. But my main concern was get through the field, but get through the field cleanly. You know, the few cautions that we did have, they did help me. You know, I got lucky on a few of those with missing some of the wrecks. That definitely helped. But, you know, like I said, I wasn't going to beat and bang my way through the field. I wanted to play it conservative and take what I could get.
Well, and you took the victory here, Bobby, and I know it's been a long time, but you know how we end this. Anybody you got to thank for this win tonight?
No, of course. First off, I've got to thank Bootleg Racing League. I haven't been around this year because of my work schedule, this season because of my work schedule. It's just been absolutely insane, and Lowell's been nice enough to keep me in the league, and, you know, I've stayed in touch with him. And I promised him I'd be back before the end of the season, and I made it for the last race. Hopefully be back for a full next season. Also want to thank you guys at GSRC. And then I've got to thank my team, Jim Beaver Esports, Fistful of Bourbon. It's been a while since I could say this. Winners get whiskey, baby. Also got to thank General Tire, Polaris Razor, Vision Wheel, Rigid Industries. Man, it's been a while since I've done one of these. The Motorsports Drop, Chris Leone, everybody that helps us out on this team. I greatly appreciate those guys, and there might be some changes coming for me personally, and we're just going to leave it at that. But you guys hopefully will see it this upcoming season in Bootleg. So stay tuned for that.
Well, Bobby, we look forward to it. That was your winner here tonight, Bobby Rafferty. And now, Ozzy, I believe you've caught up with his teammate and our second place finisher, Brandon Proudfoot.
Yep. Bootleg Racing League Dirt Street Stock Series Season 7 champion with 7 wins, Brandon Proudfoot. Wonderful, wonderful race. How was it racing against your teammate after such a long time?
Brought back memories. Bobby is another one of those drivers in the league that he's the one that got me to race over here originally, and he's just another driver that you can run around with and not have to worry about checking mirrors or getting doored into the side or whatever. It was great to be racing with him again.
Yep, and we talked briefly during the heat races, and we saw camera from you as well, a nice perspective of your driving style. We talked about how you often race one-handed, maybe giving a little bit more of a feel for the grip of the car and whatsoever. Last 10 laps side by side with your teammate, fighting for the win here at Charlotte Dirt Track, last race of the season, all that. One hand or two hands on the wheel?
Really depends on the situation. The reason why I do the one hand is, even though a majority of us either have strong wheels or weak wheels, it's something I learned from having my days as a weak wheel user. For me to qualify into the World of Outlaw late model series, a pro series on iRacing, I used a 7-year-old G27 or something like that. The motor was pretty much burnt out. It gave maybe about 50% of what it could, and for me to feel those minute bumps and to be able to feel the track out and see where the grip is, I found that using one hand was more often better than two. And it also comes from me driving a stick shift here and there in real life, as well as just overall wanting more feel for the track. So if I need the control too, but if I need to feel one.
Yeah, and out here today we heard as well from our race winner that, wanted to apologize to you, despite, being teammates, wanted to race you clean, expecting maybe that you were gonna throw it down to the inside, went with a slide job. I suppose you guys talked it through after the race and so on, but any comment on that little bit of a last lap contact?
Yeah, that last lap contact was 100% me. Bobby was, I listened to the interview a little bit from what I could catch. He was 100% right. The leader, if it's the last lap, usually that slider line is a predominant thing you'll see in 3 and 4, as it kind of tries to protect that one last opportunity, and that's kind of a normal thing, kind of like how on asphalt you may see a bump and run or a final hard braking in one of the major braking zones on a track. Dirt racing, it's all about protecting that slider line whenever it comes to those final moments, and just from the heat of racing and not paying attention to that lap time, I was just in the groove trying to run my fast line, and I didn't defend, and I got the door, and he did the right thing. I didn't. So that's 100% on me, and still ended up with second.
Yep. It wasn't a classic Mosport finishing that both of you guys actually did manage to see the checkered flag. Well, Brandon Proudfoot, congratulations on what is one of the most dominant seasons we have seen here at GSRC and here at Bootleg Racing League. 7 wins this season, and rightfully so, crowned champion as well. Anyone you would like to thank, give a shout out to, anything, any greetings? Go on.
Of course, fistful of bourbon. Winners and champions get whisking, baby. Congrats on the win, Bobby. Welcome back. General Tire, Polaris RZR, Vision Wheel, Stance Racing Fabrication, Chris Leone Motorsport Shop, all the guys, Jim Beaver Esports that keep me going, and Lowell and all the guys here for hosting the league. We actually got an announcement from Lowell today that we made our cap for the broadcast, so whether he's informed you guys or not, you guys will be back with us here next season, I hope. The funds are there. It's whether or not that time slot will be. So thank you guys for doing that, and hope to see you back next season. Of girlfriend and family roots me on downstairs, and heck of a season. Had a lot more competition. All the guys are growing, and I might be getting the real car going here for next season, so I might not be able to repeat, so we'll have to see what the next season brings.
Well, that's awesome. Good luck with that, Brandon, and thanks once more for an interview.
Thank you, guys.
And next up, DJ Clock, I believe you have one more person that you're going to talk to tonight, and I'm sure that he's going to be in one happy mood as well.
William, that was a heck of a race out there for you. And the first thing I got to ask is, how hard were you gripping that steering wheel being in the middle of that fistful of bourbon sandwich?
Man, I had my hands full, that's for sure. I tried everything I could to throw at them there and do it respectfully and right and whatnot. And them guys, they both got me.
Well, still, a third is pretty darn good. And I think if my numbers are right, you may have just pipped Billy Norcutt for third in the overall championship.
Yeah, that'd be all right, I guess. I know for myself, I had a couple of weeks there where I wasn't able to attend due to working and stuff. I didn't get home till a little bit later and whatnot. So, but to be third, that's okay on the season. And congrats to Proudfoot for the championship. And I want to also thank the whole BRL league for putting this on for us.
Well, as we just heard in our last interview, we are coming back for next season. And I have to ask you, what are your goals? What are you hoping to do?
I think as far as I know, we plan to be back and try to rattle these guys' cages a little bit and have some more fun. This is a really good, clean racing, and it's really good battles. I mean, I don't know too many street stock races where you're gonna see a three wide like that and throwing sliders between each other and really no contact at all. So I mean, I most definitely plan to be back, and I enjoy all these guys in this league and respect them all for sure.
Well, we love watching it. Anybody you'd like to thank for the season and for the race out here tonight?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank everybody at the BRL for doing this for us, and you guys for doing the broadcast. I got to thank my Dirt Panda Racing teammates, Wild Bill's Race Designs, Blue Sky Builders, and Melum Electric, and also Viv's Liquor.
Well, thank you very much, William. That was the driver of the 71, your third place finisher here tonight. And well, folks, that is going to end up our coverage here tonight for this season of the BRL Dirt Street Stock Series. Thanks to all of the companies that provide the software and hardware for our broadcasts. You can see them here popping up on your screen. Additional thanks go to June Lalonde, who provides our wonderful music. Again, there you can see how to get a hold of her on her Bandcamp. So check out all that stuff. We could not do it without them. And thanks again to the team today. That's Ozzy, Sean, and Dougie. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, including upcoming races, you can find it at globalsimracingchannel.com, or you can check out our social media through the outlets listed below on the screen. If you'd like to support the channel, head on over to our merch store at simracingmerch.com/GSRC. The link is in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss a moment here on GSRC. As you heard us say, the next race here is going to be June 25th at Knoxville. That's right, we are coming back for another series of the BRL Dirt Street Stock Series. We also have some other additional races popping up on your screen right now, so check them out and mark them down on your calendar. But until next time, folks, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.